My name is Marta Isles. I'm 28, and according to my ex-boyfriend, I was easily replaceable. He said it like he was reading the weather report. Calm, casual, bored. "You're a great girl, Marta," he told me, "but you're, kind of replaceable. I feel like I'm settling for now." That was the night I decided to make room for his upgrade, and months later, when he came crawling back, I realized something important. The market isn't as kind to people like him as he thought. I'm a union plumber in Denver. Not glamorous, not Instagram pretty, but solid. I've been in the trade since I was 19. Started as the girl hauling pipe and digging trenches while the old guys called me kid and bet I wouldn't last a week. 9 years later, I make around $85,000 a year with overtime. I own my truck outright. I rent a decent 2-bedroom apartment. I've got an emergency fund, a retirement account, and a nope, I'm not going broke for anyone savings cushion. My dad drilled it into me early. Save 20% of every paycheck. Don't finance stupid things. And never let someone into your bank accounts until there's a ring and a lawyer involved, kiddo. He wasn't bitter. He was cautious. His brother, my Uncle Tom, got wiped out in a divorce in the 90s. Lost his house, his retirement, even the fishing boat he'd saved years to buy. I watched a grown man cry in our garage the day he had to sell it. Every family dinner came with some version of, "Don't end up like Uncle Tom." I took that lesson and ran with it. The trade isn't pretty. I spend my days under houses, dealing with sewage, rusted pipes, and problems people pretend don't exist until the ceiling starts leaking. But there's something peaceful about it. Pipes don't lie. Either they're working or they're not. Broken? Replace it. Clogged? Clear it. Simple. People, on the other hand, are a whole different story. I met my ex, Nathan, at a friend's barbecue 2 years ago. He was exactly the kind of guy my friends screenshot and sent to each other. Tall, clean-cut real estate agent, always in a crisp button-down, and the kind of watch you angle your wrist to show off. He caught my eye because he didn't flinch when I mentioned what I do. "Plumbing is solid money," he said. "Nothing sexier than a woman who knows her way around a toolbox." I laughed, assuming he meant it. Looking back, it was probably just one of a dozen polished lines he used on women who had their lives more together than he did. He worked in real estate, the kind where every Instagram story is a selfie in an empty house with the caption "grinding" and a stack of money emojis. He seemed impressed when I mentioned I was saving for a duplex so I could live in one unit and rent out the other. "You're smart," he said. "Most people our age aren't thinking like that." He chased me a little. Texts, invites, good morning messages. Our first few months were easy. I took him to low-key breweries. He took me to mid-range steakhouses where the napkins were cloth, but the servers still called you guys. The physical chemistry was good. He loved that I wasn't drowning in debt. I loved that for once, I didn't feel like a project. He talked about his ex-girlfriends a lot. "They were all broke," he'd say with a smirk. "Couldn't keep a job, always between opportunities. I'm done with women who bring nothing to the table." I should have paid more attention to that. When someone talks about all their exes like they're trash, eventually you realize you're just waiting your turn. The first red flags were soft, almost gentle. "Babe, you could dress a little more polished," he'd say, straightening my jacket. "You have the body. Lean into it. It's a branding thing." "Au revoir. Your apartment's kind of basic, don't you think? You should let me help you design it. Clients are going to come over one day when you have your own company." He'd compare me to other men he knew. Finance guys, tech bros, pharmaceutical sales reps. "Did you see Greg's new BMW?" he'd say while we rode in my paid-off truck. "His bonus paid for half of it. Sales money is crazy, right?" I'd shrug. "Yeah, and his student loans are, what, 6 figures?" Nathan would laugh it off, but the message was clear. Blue collar was fine for now, but not impressive. Not Instagram impressive. My life wasn't exciting by his standards. I worked long days, hit the gym when I could, played in a rec softball league sometimes, and spent weekends fixing up an old dirt bike in my friend's garage. I liked it that way. My life wasn't curated, but it was real. About 6 months ago, things changed. Nathan joined this entrepreneur mastermind group. $500 a month for a bunch of real estate agents, insurance salespeople, and life coaches to sit in a hotel conference room and hype each other up about leveling up and stepping into your highest self. He came back from those meetings different. He started talking about high-value people, settling, knowing your worth. He'd scroll through his phone, showing me influencers with leased cars and rented Airbnbs. "This is the circle I need to be in," he'd say. "People who think big." He started hanging out with a new crew, other agents, mortgage guys, investors, whose portfolios were mostly crypto and vibes. They'd go to expensive restaurants, split appetizers to pretend they weren't broke, and take 50 photos for one post. One of his new friends, Britt, was particularly poisonous. She was a 32-year-old agent who loved saying things like, "A man isn't a financial plan, but if he's not leveling you up, why is he there?" I noticed the way her eyes slid over me when Nathan introduced us. Work boots, flannel, minimal makeup. I was before in their world. They were always chasing after. The comments ramped up. "You should really go for your contractor's license," Nathan would say. "You're thinking too small. You could make so much more." "I am planning to," I'd answer. "I'm just not going into debt for it. I'm saving first, taking classes, doing it right." He'd sigh like I didn't get it. "It's not about playing safe, Marta. It's about vision, ambition." Translation: you're not making enough money to fit my aesthetic. Yet. 2 months ago, the distance set in. He was on his phone constantly, smiling at messages he never explained. Networking events turned into nights he wouldn't answer my calls. He stopped posting photos of us. Our couple pics vanished from his Instagram grid, replaced with solo shots and group photos with his success circle. One Wednesday, I came home from a 10-hour job in a 100-year-old house. I smelled like copper and flux and old water. Nathan was on my couch, staring at his phone, thumb moving in a constant scroll. "Hey," I said, dropping my tool bag. "How was your day?" "Fine," he muttered, not looking up. I showered, changed, came back. He still hadn't looked at me. "You want to grab dinner?" I asked. "Or I can cook." He finally glanced up, and there it was. That look people get when they've already decided they're done, and now you're just an inconvenience. "Actually," he said, setting his phone down with this exaggerated sigh, "I wanted to talk to you about something." Here we go, I thought. Either he wants to move in, or he wants out. Given the last few months, I already knew the answer. I sat across from him. "Okay, talk." He took a breath, like he was about to deliver a motivational speech. "I've been thinking a lot about my goals, my future, my energy," he started. "I'm in a different place in life now, Marta. I need to be with someone who matches that, someone more ambitious." I stared at him. "I work 50 hours a week. I'm taking night classes for my contractor's license. How is that not ambitious?" "It's not about hours," he said, waving a hand. "It's mindset, vision. You're comfortable just being a plumber forever, and that's fine for you, but I need more." "More what?" I asked quietly. He held my gaze, and then he said it. "More everything. Excitement, growth, potential. The truth is," he paused for dramatic effect, "I feel like I'm settling right now. You're stable, you're reliable, but you're easily replaceable. What you bring is nice. It's just not special. I don't want to wake up in 5 years wondering what I missed." Easily replaceable. The words landed like a wrench dropped on concrete. "So you're breaking up with me?" I asked. "I'm saying we should take a break," he corrected. "See other people, explore our options. If we're meant to be, we'll find our way back. I need to know if there's someone who can truly match my energy." Translation: I want to shop around while keeping you on the shelf. The old me would have argued, begged, asked what I could do better. Instead, something in me went very, very quiet. "Okay," I said. He blinked. "Okay?" "You want to see what is out there," I said calmly. "Go see it. We're done." "I didn't say we're done," he protested. "I said a break." "There's no such thing as a break," I replied. "There's together or not. You want to date other people? You're single. I'm not waiting here for you like a warranty." His jaw tightened. "You're being immature. Can't we have an adult conversation?" "We just did," I said. "You told me I'm easily replaceable and you're settling. Message received." He stood, grabbing his jacket with a flourish. "Fine. You'll regret this when you realize what you lost." I met his eyes, and for the first time since I'd known him, he was the one who looked unsure. "Maybe," I said, "or maybe you're about to find out I was the one thing in your life you couldn't actually replace." He left, slamming the door like a period at the end of a sentence. I listened to his footsteps fade down the hall, then walked to my small kitchen, opened the fridge, and pulled out a soda. My hands weren't even shaking. In that moment, I didn't know all the ways his decision would come back to haunt him. I just knew one thing with absolute clarity. He had just discounted me like a cheap fixture, and the market was going to correct him. The morning after Nathan told me I was easily replaceable, I woke up with the kind of clarity people spend years chasing in therapy. No crying, no spiraling, no, what did I do wrong? Just silence. Peaceful, cold, necessary silence. I made coffee, tied my hair back, grabbed 2 empty boxes, and began the cleanup. Nathan had been staying at my place 2 to 3 nights a week. He'd slowly colonized the space. Shirts in my closet, grooming kits in my bathroom, an expensive hairdryer he swore was worth the price because good presentation matters. He'd left belts, socks, 2 colognes, and a stack of business cards on my dresser. I folded everything neatly because my dignity deserved neatness. His products, his gadgets, all of it went into the boxes. While packing, I found things I wasn't supposed to find. A restaurant receipt, dated 2 weeks ago, for a place I'd never been. A business card from some guy named Blake with "Call Me" written on the back. A notebook where Nathan had been practicing signatures with different last names. None of them were mine. I didn't feel anger, just confirmation, like the universe tapping me on the shoulder and whispering, "Good call." I texted him, "Your things are packed. Pick them up today or I'll drop them at the office." 6 hours later, he replied, "Leave them with the apartment manager. I'm busy." Of course he was. I took the boxes downstairs, handed them to the office, and walked out feeling lighter. Next step, digital surgery. I unfriended him on Facebook, unfollowed him on Instagram, removed him from Snapchat, changed my Netflix password, signed him out of my Prime account, deleted his contact. Then, something my dad taught me. I wrote everything down. Dates, times, what he said, word for word. Because people rewrite history when their reputation is on the line, especially someone who wants to protect his image more than his relationships. That weekend, my best friend, Ty, a diesel mechanic, showed up with fried chicken and a 6-pack. He walked into my apartment, took one look at the empty closet space, and said, "So the idiot finally showed his colors." I snorted. "You called it." Ty dropped the food on the counter. "Martz, I told you months ago he was shopping for an upgrade. Boss babe energy isn't real strength. It's insecurity dressed up in motivational quotes." I laughed, because hearing it from someone who'd known me since high school felt grounding. We ate, watched a game, talked about work, about a busted Harley he was trying to restore. Ty didn't push, didn't ask if I was hurt. He knew I wasn't. "You good?" he asked eventually. I nodded. "Honestly, better than good." He nudged my shoulder. "Good, because if he tries crawling back, and he will, I want you to block him so fast his phone glitches." Life settled quickly. I picked up extra overtime. My supervisor practically hugged me when I said I was available for more jobs. Money rolled in, steady, predictable, comforting. I started hitting the gym consistently. I cleaned up my diet. Ty dragged me to his garage every Saturday, where we worked on rebuilding his Harley and complained about supply chains and gas prices like 2 retirees. Without Nathan's criticisms, everything felt quieter, warmer. I hadn't realized how much mental noise he brought into my life until it was gone. Meanwhile, Nathan's social media turned into a theater production. Amy, Ty's girlfriend, kept tabs and sent me screenshots. There he was, at some overpriced steakhouse with his mastermind buddies, wine glasses raised like a pyramid scheme toast. Caption, "Surround yourself with people who elevate you." Another photo, Nathan leaning against a rented BMW. Caption, "High value, energy only." Ty texted, "Bro thinks he's in a music video." I laughed out loud. He was performing success, not living it. Mutual acquaintances fed me rumors, without me asking. "He told everyone you two split because you lacked ambition," one friend said. "He says he outgrew you," another said. Outgrew me? The man couldn't assemble IKEA furniture without a YouTube tutorial. But I didn't correct anyone. I didn't defend myself. Let people think what they wanted. The truth doesn't need public relations. 6 weeks after the breakup, the cracks appeared. Nathan posted a black screen on his story. "Be careful who you trust. Not everyone has your best interest at heart." 2 days later, real recognize real. Then, when the surface level people fade, notice who stays. Ty wrote, "Uh-oh, trouble in paradise." I didn't reply. I didn't need to. His curated lifestyle was collapsing. Amy sent a candid photo from another app. Nathan crying in his car. Caption, "The grass isn't greener. It's just more maintenance." There it was, the beginning of the unraveling. Then came the message that made the entire picture click. A guy named Kyle, someone I'd met once at a barbecue, DM'd me. Hey, sorry to message out of nowhere. I dated Nathan's friend group for a bit. Thought you should know. Nathan's been talking about you nonstop. He told people he regrets leaving. He's probably going to reach out soon. I stared at the message and felt nothing. Not satisfaction, not revenge, not anticipation. Just calm certainty. The market correction had begun, and I wasn't buying back in. Kyle's warning came on a Tuesday. Nathan's first attempt came on Friday. I posted a picture of two things that made me genuinely happy that day. The Harley engine Ty and I finally fixed, and a giant breakfast burrito the size of my forearm. Within an hour, Nathan liked the post, then liked another, then two more from months ago. Classic digital knocking. Hey, remember me? Notice me, please? I didn't respond. Didn't block him either. I didn't need to. His desperation was blocking itself. 2 days later, the message came. Nathan, hey, how have you been? I left it alone for 6 hours, then replied with a single word, good. He tried again. Nathan, I've been thinking about you. How's work? Me, busy. He paused before sending the line I knew was coming. I miss talking to you. I didn't answer. There was nothing to answer. But he wasn't done. On Wednesday, do you think we could grab coffee just to talk about what happened? I stared at the message for a long moment. Just to talk is breakup code for, I've tried my options. They didn't work. Please take me back so I can feel valuable again. I typed slowly, deliberately. No, you wanted to explore. Go explore. We're done. He called. I declined. He called again. I declined again. Then came the voicemail. Emotional, rambling, full of excuses. Friends pressured him. He made a mistake. He realized what he lost. He wasn't in the right mindset. He's grown. He's learned. I deleted the voicemail, blocked the number. The market correction was gaining speed. 2 weeks later, he escalated. I was doing laundry when there was a knock on my door. I looked through the peephole. Nathan, hair messy, no gel, dark circles under his eyes, sweats instead of tailored clothes. He looked like a motivational quote that stopped motivating. I opened the door but didn't step aside. What do you want? I asked. Marta, can we talk, please? His voice cracked at the end. We have nothing to talk about. He pushed a hand through his hair. I know I messed up. I haven't been okay. That's not my responsibility. He swallowed hard. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean what I said. I was stupid. I was insecure. I let the wrong people influence me. You weren't influenced, I said calmly. You were exposed. He blinked. What? You didn't say anything in that breakup speech that wasn't already inside you. The mastermind group didn't change you. It just gave you permission to be who you already were. That's not fair, he whispered. Life's not fair, Nathan. Remember when you said I wasn't enough? That I was easily replaceable? I tilted my head. How's the replacement search going? His face collapsed. I was wrong. I was so wrong. He took a step closer. I've changed. No, I said, you've failed. That's not the same thing. He flinched like I'd struck him. Tears filled his eyes. Please, just give me a chance to prove myself. I love you. No, I said simply. You love the version of me that made your life easy. But you didn't love me enough to value me before other people rejected you. Marta, please. You said you were settling, I cut in, that I was replaceable. You don't get to take those words back because the dating market told you the truth. He wiped at his eyes. I was selfish. I didn't appreciate you. I didn't realize what I had. That's the thing, I said softly. You didn't realize because you didn't value it. People don't suddenly gain value when someone else rejects you. You just finally noticed the price tag. He stood there for a long moment, shoulders shaking. Please, he whispered. I can be better. I'll be better for you. I stepped back, keeping my hand on the door. You should have been better when you had me. Goodbye, Nathan. He closed his eyes, and for a second I saw a flash of something. Not anger, not spite, just the painful understanding that this was the irreversible moment his fantasy life collapsed. Marta, please don't do this. I'm not doing anything, I said. You did? And I closed the door. I didn't wait for footsteps. I didn't check the peephole. I just walked back to the dryer and folded my clothes. I felt nothing. No victory. No sadness. Just closure. Finally, 3 months later, my life had shifted in ways I hadn't expected. I was promoted to a senior role at work. Better pay, better hours. Ty and I finished restoring the Harley. My side jobs from client referrals were booming. I drafted a business plan, researched financing, and even chosen a name for my future company. And somewhere in between all that, I met someone, Adrian, a dental hygienist with his own condo, no debt, a dry sense of humor, and no interest in fake wealth or flashy aesthetics. He asked me about my work because he genuinely thought plumbing was fascinating. He paid for his own meals. He didn't compare me to anyone. He didn't view me as a project or a stepping stone. He treated me like a partner, not a placeholder. The difference was night and day. 4 months after the breakup, Nathan sent one last email. Long, emotional, reflective. He said he finally understood what he'd lost. He apologized for everything. He said he'd grown. He wished me happiness. He said I deserved someone who valued me from the beginning. He didn't ask for another chance, not directly, but regret clung to every sentence. I read it once, then deleted it. No response. Because growth isn't about giving people access to you again. It's about choosing yourself with the same intensity you once chose them. 5 months later, I was happy. Not fake happy, not curated happy, just quietly, solidly, peacefully happy. My work life was thriving. My relationship with Adrian was steady and real. My future business was closer than ever. And most importantly, my self-worth no longer needed the approval of someone who once mistook stability for mediocrity. Nathan was wrong. I was never easily replaceable. He was. And unlike him, I upgraded my life, not by trading people in, but by valuing the things that mattered from the start.